How does the micro-credential pathway compare to college coursework and professional development that you have taken in the past?
Well, I've taken a lot. So this was actually, I have to say, much more enjoyable. It was a lot more self-learning, a lot of doing my own research to figure it out.
Yeah, the micro-credential program, I think, has been far more in-depth into the actual content and standards that you're going to teach as a teacher,
without the fluff that you get in other places.
It's job embedded, so it's not an additional thing I'm trying to do. Instead, it's actually making me a better teacher in my classroom as I'm doing it.
Traditional coursework is, especially online coursework, is a lot of kind of reading and writing and not as much application. But this program really forces you to have an in-depth understanding of that content and those standards.
Most courses, you do your assignments, they're due at this time, you go to class, and this allowed you to kind of be on your own time frame. The work you're doing specifically aligns with what you'll be teaching.
I believe that it is much more applicable to what I am teaching.
What challenges have you faced in your work with micro-credentials?
It was very time consuming.
Very time consuming. It took a lot of my personal time, which any class would, but it took a lot of time, more than I expected, more than the 5 PTSB hours that they had said for each one. It was probably 3 or 4 times that for me, but it could just be me.
I was glad that my kids are grown and I had time to work on it.
Sometimes as educators, we just quickly read the standard and we go, oh, I think I know what that is. But really in these micro-credentials, it's asking to really dig into it and break it into pieces. And I think that analyze task is the most challenging piece, but it's the most important piece because it makes the lesson and then the assessment all aligning together. And I can really make sure my students are getting what they need to have.
Did earning the micro-credentials prepare you to teach computer science?
I would say yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Because like I said, they're job embedded. It's I'm teaching computer science as I'm earning them.
It really advanced my preparation to teach computer science in the classroom.
The micro-credentials gave me a very in-depth understanding of the standards. That process to use the ADDIE model and analyze the standard that you're going to teach, but also the CSTA teacher standard.
The ADDIE model, love that.
Going through that ADDIE model, it really breaks everything down.
The great thing about it is the evaluators, they're actually computer science professionals who have taught computer science. So, if I submit my micro-credential and they say, actually, we need to see more of this, we're not quite we don't feel like you're proving your knowledge of this standard, or we don't feel like your assessment is aligning, you get that feedback right away. And then you can make changes to your lesson.
Why would you argue to add the micro-credential pathway as an alternative route to computer science endorsement? We
need computer science teachers in our state. The state is saying we need them, but there's not a ton of pathways that fit into what we're actually asking these teachers to do.
Because it's on the job for teachers. Teachers are very, very busy people, and they don't all have the money to go back to school to get the endorsement. And so giving them the opportunity to earn this on their time with their current job and use this with students, I think is a very important part of the process.
Well, it applies it directly to what I am doing and teaching. It's content heavy.
I started the computer science endorsement at LCCC, and I mean, that was just book work and assignments, and this teaches you how to teach it. I mean, I feel like this is way more effective. This is just, you're doing it on the job. When you have problems, you have your mentor there that can give you that one-on-one help that you need. You know exactly what they're looking for on the proficiency scale, and it just, you can't bluff your way through it.
You must really, you really have to learn it. You can't really bluff your way through this at all.
I love the idea of this path being approved.